So now we come to step number 7. But before we go into step number 7, I ask you to recall earlier in the program when we talked about the difference between being amateur and being professional. Remember, the professional is surrendered to their calling. They've disciplined. They surrendered to their dreams. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing at the time they're supposed to be doing it, whether they like it or not, which is the definition of discipline. I'll repeat that. Doing what you're supposed to be doing, when you're supposed to be doing it, whether you like it or not. Okay, now you say it with me. Ready? Go. Doing what you're supposed to be doing, when you're supposed to be doing, whether you like it or not. And I might add to that, whether anybody's watching or not. You know, I'm in my hotel room early this morning doing mountain climbers and push-ups, even though nobody's looking, because I know that's what I need to do. That's my instilled discipline. Okay? That's the professional. The amateur, however, never gets to their dream. Why? Because they're still burdened with the distractions, the addictions. I got texting and errands and the minutia and running around doing lots of things for lots of other people, but not doing the things they need to do to get on with their lives. Remember, it's an addiction because it's almost a protective mechanism that keeps them from having to surrender to that bigger calling. By the way, why would they want to be protected? Well, because if you become successful, what's the fear? People say fear of success. Why is there a fear of success? Because maybe you have to repeat. You have a moment of success. Can you do it again? Can you repeat? Can you be consistent? And that puts a lot of pressure on people. The other thing that happens with success is you come out of the pea soup, so to speak, and now people see you. So people will attack. People will criticize. People will tell you things about yourself that you might not like hearing. So it's much easier to stay amateur and talk about it and stay looking like you're doing something but not getting it done. So we have, remember, the professional, and we have the addicted amateur. But here's what happens in step number 7. Step number 7 for the professional, the addiction becomes growing and winning. It becomes almost a drug. That what happens is the desire to grow, the desire to be big, because once you experience how big you can be. See, when I put people through a program where they'll sell $22,000 in 5 hours, or they sell a whole group of people in Italy did 3.6 million euro in sales in 4.5 days. Once they have that experience, it's not about the money anymore. It's just, this feels awesome. It is addicting. It is a drug. The reason those guys stay in the NFL or the NHL or Major League Baseball or whatever major league they're in, it's not so much about the money. It's about winning. It's about getting bigger all the time, learning more. So at that point, now the discipline is instilled because you are infected with the desire to grow. The desire to always be better, get better. It's not about the money. You've heard people say that. Well, how can you say it's not about the money? It's easy for you to say because you got a lot of money. Yeah, but it's not. It's about getting bigger. It's about being who you were meant to be, who you're supposed to be. So again, if you follow these 7 steps, like I said, the good news, steps 5, 6, and 7, automatic. But you've got to surrender. You got to know what to surrender to, what to not surrender to, but you've got to reach a point of decision, get a wake-up call, whatever it is you need to do to get online with all of your little voice techniques combined, because it'll start hitting you. The minute you start to rise, that little voice is going to come after you like crazy. With the techniques, you'll be able to hold them off long enough to get to that level of success. Once you've done that, you have mastered your little voice. It'll never go away. That's why we don't call it little voice obliteration. It's just called little voice mastery. It's there, it will always be there, but you become the controller of it. You master your little voice, you will master your destiny. Congratulations, you have completed the Little Voice Mastery course. I am sure that you are already seeing results in many areas of your life. Remember that mastery is the process of repetition. I personally have repeated these processes, techniques, and goal-setting processes countless times. I still do today. The one thing I can say is that the more you do, the bigger you will become. The more money, support, love, health, and happiness will flow to you. It has worked for me and for thousands of other people. You have worked long and hard to get here. You deserve to have what you want. You have everything it takes to be a champion. And when that little voice comes seeping back in, follow the processes and come back to this program for a tune-up. I recommend it at least once a quarter. But most of all, remember that you are awesome.